6, 1, 3, 4.
Alright guys, huddle.
FIRST is about more than just the robotics. Besides teaching us engineering skills, we learn business skills like earning sponsors and social skills like working with others. It teaches us that we function better as a team than as individuals. And FIRST, we volunteer in our community and help encourage young children to become interested in science, technology, engineering, and math. FIRST also offers $60 million in college scholarships. And most importantly, FIRST teaches us gracious professionalism. We will carry FIRST with us for the rest of our lives. So team, what will you carry with you from FIRST?
Science, technology,
engineering,
mathematics,
creativity,
competition,
imagination,
innovation,
Inspiration.
We are more than just a robotics team. We are the future of engineering.
FIRST is a competitive sport. It's a life experience, an opportunity, it's a community, and it's amazing. FIRST stands for inspiration and recognition of science and technology. FIRST inspires young people to pursue careers and become leaders in science and technology by engaging them in exciting mentor and value-based robotics programs.
FIRST Tech Challenge is what FTC stands for. We're Team 6134, the Black Frogs from Novi, Michigan, with 10 members all attending Novi Middle School. FIRST Tech Challenge is designed for those who want to compete head-to-head. Teams of up to 10 students design, build, and program robots to complete tasks in tournaments. The robot kit is reusable from year to year. Our programming language offers freedom while being straightforward as well as streamlined. Robots are designed on the same engineering principles used by professional engineers. Awards are given for competition as well as community outreach, design, and other real-world accomplishments.
Well, for a building part, we have to do many things like designing and building a robot, but we also have to program it, and we not only build it, but we also have to apply real-world math and science concepts. Some concepts like simplicity, because simplicity is the most important concept in engineering. We recently earned a place in the World Championship, and that took us a lot of effort, and it is in St. Louis, Missouri. And this is really nice doing this program because there's scholarships out for $60 million for FIRST participants around the world. A big aspect of FIRST is gracious professionalism. Gracious professionalism is the quality of working together with other people and, well, being competitive, but doing it respectfully. We want to make sure that we can work together, but always work together kindly and not aggressively.
Cooperation is displaying unqualified kindness and respect in the face of fierce competition. Cooperation has been founded on the concept that teams can and should help each other even as they compete as rivals. Cooperation means competing fiercely but always assisting and enabling others when you can. Cooperation produces innovation. To transform our culture by creating a world where science and technology are celebrated and where young people dream of becoming science and technology leaders. By Dean Kamen. This quote talks about founding FIRST and how he encourages STEM for young minds and trying to create new engineers. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math.
FIRST is devoted to helping young people discover and develop a passion for science, technology, engineering, and math. Reaching over 60 countries, it has over 300,000 students, 120,000 mentors, and over 3,500 sponsors. This year, FTC has reached out to 13 countries with 2,500 teams and 25,000 students. Even though there's over 100 qualifying and championship tournaments, there is only one World Championship. Every fall, the annual FTC Challenge is announced to the world at kickoff events and online. Teams independently design and build the robot using Tetrix kit parts and other approved hardware. All teams will receive the same game manual and specifications that must be adhered to qualify to compete in local, regional, and world tournaments. As you can see, we are very pleased to have numerous sponsors that help support us. And with us going to the World Championships, they will get even more exposure. They increase company publicity in the community and in the engineering community. Our sponsors are supporting the future workforce, and all 10 kids are attending Novi Middle School. In addition, with the support of Novi Education Foundation, their donations are part of a nonprofit 501c3 deduction.
FIRST never stops building upon itself, starting from age 6 all the way through high school.
FIRST is a robotics program that has 4 different levels: Junior FLL, or Junior First Level League, FLL, or First Level League, FTC, or First Technical Challenge, and FRC, or First Robotics Challenge.
For students, it's the hardest fun you'll ever have. For mentors, coaches, and volunteers, the most rewarding adventure you'll ever have. For sponsors, the most enlightened investment you could ever make. FTC has 9 competitive awards, ranging from the Connect Award, which is for teams who are involved in the communities, to the Think Award, presented to the team who best manages the engineering design process, all the way up to the Inspire Award.
This year's challenge is called Ring It Up. As in many FTC competitions, it's played in 2 alliances that consist of 2 randomly selected teams each, with 2 drivers and 1 coach per team. The goal of this game is to hang rings on pegs at the center goal. It's kind of like a giant game of tic-tac-toe, where you connect rows of rings to earn points. The game is played on a 12 by 12 field with interlocking foam tiles with a 4 by 4 black board in the middle. And on top of that black mat or board is a center rack, which is 44 inches in height. There are 36 rings, all of them 4.75 inches in diameter. 24 of them are normal rings, as we call them, and they weigh 0.88 ounces. There's also 12 weighted rings that are visually identical but weigh over 3 ounces. Those 12 weighted rings are very important because they give you 20% bonus when hung on the 4 corner goals. Maximum total we've witnessed is 1,300, and points accumulate based on the placement of the rings. Having 3 in a row on the top row results in more points than on that bottom row, and having a diagonal is also more bonus points. The game starts with a 30-second autonomous period.
The autonomous period of the game is in the first 30 seconds of the game. During this period, there should be no human interaction. Everything should be pre-programmed. The robot objective is to hang an autonomous ring on the column that the infrared beacon is on. This beacon emits infrared signals, which we can find. The peg that the autonomous ring is on is owned by that alliance for the rest of the game. The next portion of the game stands for teleoperated. During teleop mode, the 2 people will use Logitech controllers to control the robot. This period is 2 minutes long. This period makes up almost all of the match. Rings are scored on pegs. During this period, rings are scored on pegs. Robots may touch and interact, but no pitting is allowed. The last 30 seconds of the teleop period is called the endgame. During this mode, tele-up actions can still be performed as normal. The only difference is that Alliance robot can lift up the Alliance team, and this will be earned for points.
3, 2, 1, go! And we have robots moving in the autonomous period. Both one on the red and one on the blue. 59, 54 on the blue. Lining up on the IR beacon row. Going for that autonomous ring on the beacon row, as well as the red line is lining up on that row as well. Both just a little to the side. We have 10 seconds left in the autonomous period. Neither robot moving and neither ring scored. Everyone just a little off on their tracking programs for that IR beacon. 2, 1, end of the autonomous, so stand by. Let me grab those rings. All right, pick up your controllers. Teams can pick up their controllers, and we will begin at the top of our tele-up in 3, 2, 1, go. Get all the robots moving and lining up to get some rings and get this tele-up ready period going on match number 12. Rings being picked up on the near blue and far red sides. Team 6134 lining up and grabbing one slide, trying to get a couple rings on that right. Got 2 rings for the top right, 2 rings for the top right by blue. With all the teams lining up, grab some more rings. Got 4 rings by very efficient. 59-54 going to place those rings, aiming for the top row again to try to start making one of the Alliance and score some bonus points. We got 2 more placed by the Red Alliance on our side in the middle row, and 1 more straight there on the low. That is a diagonal line across as 2 more simultaneously placed by team 59 and 54 on their top row to make 2/3 of the line on their top. We got rings up and down everywhere. More rings trying to get placed by the Red Alliance. They are encountering a little bit of defense, and 1 more coming over with 61-34. Going up the top row. Lining up for that top row. They do a swing and a miss. Trying to line up again as 1 more comes down. Lower back for the Red Alliance. Also encountering defense. We got 1 robot blocking, 2 robots there. As 59-54 tries to get a couple more rings. We got 1 more ring placed by 61-34 on that bottom row. Low but efficient. By team 52-90. And 1 more ring placed up top by blue. Eyes and a line on their top row as well. We have entered the end game with 14 seconds remaining. We got all of our teams trying to place some more. With 10 seconds left in the match, 8, 7, 6, 5 seconds left. And all teams are left and right. This is our ice up and 1 second left and they are done. That is a lot of rings scored by both teams on match number 12. As a reminder, folks, right now is a good time to get up and move if you need to get to another location.
First of all, the first program has impacted our team in 2 of the most important areas of life, which we think are working together with people and gaining a hands-on experience in math and science. And due to our hard work, we earned the most prestigious award, which is the Inspire Award at competition, and winning this award is the only way to advance to the World Championships. So, and also in our regional and state championships for robotics, we qualified for the semifinals or the finals in each competition, and only the top 8 robots are given this opportunity.
As all teams do, we built a robot from Tetrix parts, and the robot must fit within 18 length, height, and width. And at the competitions, they make sure very thoroughly that the robots fit those guidelines. We brainstormed on what game strategy we as a team wanted to do, and then how to design a robot that could accomplish this.
Teams throughout the world all come up with their own unique ideas for their robot design. For our robot, we chose a human arm design. Our arm design consists of a elevator lift along with a human arm concept. This allows us to have multiple degrees of freedom.
And for our building aspect, we 2 things that we did is the building process and the arm and claw process. For our claw, we made a bucket claw design, which consists of 3 sheets made of a material called Lexan, and those are nailed together right side by side, and that allows us to take 2 rings from the dispensing pegs, and once we take the rings, we lift them up, and then we hang them on the point pegs, which there are 3, and then we want to get as many points as we can. The motor that we use on our claw is a servo motor because it requires less programming aspects, and it also it doesn't have too much power that's unneeded for the claw. And it is a 180-degree servo motor, so we can move 60 degrees down and 16 degrees up.
Good job.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of people to go through. We're trying to get everyone. And right now I'm going to explain our gear reduction system that we had on our original arm. And we originally had a 1-to-4 ratio. There are small, medium, large gears. But later found out that we needed a piece of surgical tubing. That helped the arm go forward when we first initialized it. But we found out the arm would just slam down on the center beam, and it was too quick, even though the motor had an encoder on it. So we had to gear it down even further. We ended up with a 1-to-16 ratio, which is 1-to-4 gear reduction systems. So we basically just added another copy of the 1-to-4, first 1-to-4 ratio we had. The last small gear is attached to a motor, and it made the arm move a lot easier, and we also made the robot more precise.
A robot uses a holonomic drivetrain. It uses 4 Omni wheels, which are wheels with black rollers placed on the side so that they can move in 4 directions. These wheels are placed perpendicular to each other at 45-degree angles in the corners of the robot. By using perpendicular force vectors, we can create motion in 8 directions as well as turn very quickly.
So there's one wheel here, one wheel here, one wheel here, one wheel like this, and that allows us to go front, back, side, and diagonally, and also it allows us to turn.
This gives us a big advantage in competition by being able to hang rings much more efficiently and effectively.
Wow, look at him go!
Yes.
Good job. Yay! Good job!
But this drive also has some cons, which is because if the wheels are not in a perfect 45-degree angle, then it won't exactly go front and back. So that's a lot of tweaking we have to do to our robot.
In order to build our robot, we have to follow this thing called the PDP, which is the product development process. And basically it starts out with a brainstorming session. We all come up with ideas on what functionalities we want our robot to have. And so that's basically the brainstorming we come up with, and we know that no idea is a bad idea. And then we go on to forming the conceptual design, which narrows it down into like 3 categories: the arm, the claw, and the chassis. And we give the pros and cons of each idea and design we come up with, and then we go on to the detailed design, and that's where CAD softwares come into play. We use a CAD software called Creo Parametric 2.0, and what CAD stands for is Computer Aided Design. And basically we use CAD to assemble parts in the software, and we basically construct our robot in the software itself. And the reason it's much more useful than just building a robot and testing it is because it takes a lot less work. So basically, CAD is also really useful in simulating how it would work in real life, because it can also find the center of gravity, for example, of an object, and it can even define the dimensions perfectly. So in that way, CAD is a skill that's very beneficial in our futures, as the skill is used by professionals too.
In programming, we use Robot C. This programming language uses C. We use various functions like while loops, booleans, void statements, if statements, switch cases, and many more. We also use macros. We use sensors to help know the position of the robot on the field. We've programmed the robot for both teleop and autonomous modes. For autonomous mode, we use an IR sensor to find which direction the IR beacon is sending the signal from. In the sensor, there's 5 regions which will each return a value. We use this value to know where the beacon is. And then we use encoder. And then we move to that beacon where we hang our peg. We also use encoders during this period for more precise movement. This will make sure that we can go to the one peg precisely.
Now, with all of the meetings that we attend, we have to have some way of logging the information that we have come up with in that certain meeting. So we use a logbook called the engineering notebook. It's a requirement that each team must have, and if I were to say one of the proudest things our team is proud of, it would probably be our engineering notebook, in which we document all our meeting tasks and reflections, along with community outreach pictures, pages, and we document all of the sponsorship letters and any other robotics affiliated acts that we have done. So we all log that into the engineering notebook and keep that as a record so that the judges can see at competition how our season went, how our journey went through FTC.
We enjoy FIRST so much that we want to help spread the word of it. In order to accomplish this, we reach out to the community. We have met with Girl and Boy Scout troops, demonstrated at several science fairs, and we were even part of the high school robotics first pitch at a Tigers game where we did a demo. Through community outreach, we have shown how fun FIRST is and encouraged other kids and adults to become part of this wonderful opportunity.
FIRST and FTC are programs that encourage young minds to become engineers. FTC teams design, build, and program their own robots to complete the year's tasks. If you want to join an FTC team like ours that not only has fun, but learns about STEM programs and gains experiences in engineering, check out usfirst.org.
This sounds interesting, and you're thinking, how do I find out more? On the screen is the information for FIRST teams in Michigan. In addition is the website usfirst.org that has a wealth of knowledge on every aspect of all FIRST programs. FIRST teams can be school supported, where teachers are the mentors and they meet up at the schools. They could be corporate sponsors with corporate employees mentoring the team, or like ours, we are parent driven. The structure of our team are 2 co-coaches. We have a technical one that oversees all the technical aspects and a non-technical administrative co-coach, as I am. On the technical side, we have parents that have experience in engineering and in programming that help the kids learn the skills that they need in order to build a very competitive robot.
The mentoring experience in FIRST is a very difficult task at times. It's also one of the most rewarding things you'll ever do. To watch 10 teenagers out there competing and scoring points, just like a baseball coach or a basketball coach, you feel like you're right out there with them. Also, maybe unknown to them, they're sneaking in a little bit of learning too. They're learning a lot of engineering and mathematical principles. I think even more importantly, they're learning a lot of life lessons. They're learning some project management skills. They're learning how to budget their time, how to budget money, how to take a large, seemingly impossible task and break it down into bite-sized, manageable pieces, and then going out there and implementing those ideas. And that's really the rewarding part, is watching how they've grown and learned those ideas, learn those principles. Being a mentor for a first team, you'll put a lot of time into it, you'll put a lot of effort into it, but you'll get back much more than you put in.
On the non-technical side, we have parents that help the kids learn how to write grant applications, how to write letters for sponsorships, how to do marketing, to get the t-shirts, and most importantly, to reach out to the community to help spread the word about FIRST and to start more teams. First in Michigan contacts Tammy Damrath and Brian Smith are very valuable in helping you start a team, and they do coordinate a lot of competitions. In addition, the US FIRST website has a vast amount of information from mentors guides, marketing tools, forums, and so many techniques and tips out there that would help even an inexperienced person run a team. So if your child is interested, or you would like to help mentor a child to become our future in science and technology and learn lifelong skills like teamwork and gracious professionalism, please check out the FIRST websites. As our families and teams would attest, the FIRST is the best experience, and there is nothing more precious than helping a child flourish.
Guys, huddle.
1, 2, 3,
clap!
6, 1, 3, 4.
First Team 503 is from Novi, Michigan. We started back in 2001. The story of our team is one of dedication, constant improvement, and community outreach.
Our culture is summed up by Coach Hepler, who always says, do the right thing. This inspires us to not only just build a robot, but to go out and volunteer in our community.
It's inspired us to participate in Habitat for Humanity, Relay for Life, the River Rouge cleanup. It's also inspired us to get our school certified as a Michigan Green School.
It is what inspired 503 to develop a STEM curriculum to teach at our local elementary school.
We're inspired to work as a team to host kickoff for the past 12 years, to host the Frog Force Frenzy FLL tournament, and to host the first ever FTC East Michigan Championship event.
We do the right thing by celebrating our diversity. We consist of 12 nationalities from around the world. When I look around on our team, I see that half of our leadership roles are filled by females, and I am so proud to be one of them.
Doing the right thing has paid off for 503 alumni. We've earned over $187,000 in FIRST scholarships alone, and entry into prestigious universities across the country.
Any award or recognition that I have received, I can directly relate back to my experiences on Frog Force.
I started on an FLL team. Then, after joining 503, I continued to mentor the team throughout high school, and now I'm attending Kettering University on a FIRST scholarship.
While helping FLL kids work through a genetics research project involving fruit flies, my experiences turned around to help me receive a research position also involving fruit fly genetics at the University of Michigan.
We were the first FRC team to partner with Major League Baseball by building a robot that threw the first pitch to over 40,000 fans at Comerica Park. We also held robot demonstrations throughout the park.
I knew that we needed to recognize an organization that inspires kids the way that it was obvious that FIRST did. If it's anything like me, and I think Tiger fans are a lot like me, they were probably inspired and really found out something neat that they could share with their kids or their grandkids or their nieces and nephews and say, hey, I saw something really cool at the ballpark today, and the Tigers believe in it, so maybe I should too.
503 reached 11 million people through the media buzz surrounding this event.
Our history of mentoring FLL teams puts us in the perfect position to implement a middle school FTC program in the state of Michigan in 2011.
503 students have mentored FTC teams, provided a practice field, and hosted Worky workshops to help FTC grow to 60 teams in the state of Michigan. Last year, Frog Force created the Novi Robotics Boosters and partnered with the Novi Educational Foundation to help grow and sustain FIRST programs in the Novi School District.
The Novi Educational Foundation really values its relationships with the FIRST robotics team at Novi Community School Districts. We feel it's an important opportunity for our young children to engage in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields.
First, Team 503 is inspired to do the right thing.
To stay a leap ahead.
To make FIRST a lifetime commitment.